Alright guys, so I'm bored at the moment, hence the title of my YouTube channel. So I don't know if you can see what's going on, but I got 3 projects I want to try to work on some this weekend. I need to make a kitchen knife, and I want to make it out of stainless, and I want it to be thinner than the last one I made. So I figured this would be a good piece to make a, I don't know, we'll see, decent little sized knife out of it. So I think I'm going to drop these 2 blades. I don't know, I might try to split them in one video. It might all go in one video. Depends on how much time everything takes and what I actually get done. So I want to post more content, so if that means it's all weird and hodgepodge, then I guess that's what it is. So here we go. I can't picture chef's knife in my head. I'm gonna have to look up some pictures again. Listening to a podcast with somebody else, and they left the knife without any handle for a kitchen knife because they're not cutting a ton, and my other knives are always so bulky and thick. I might do the same. I might just leave this and do a real simple, that's probably too close to the edge, but just do a real simple hole in the end of it and just leave it plain and thin. It doesn't take up much space. I don't know. Then again, I still have some pretty scale material, so I don't know. That's what I'm going to start with, but I do think I'm just going to go real simple, cut out the outside edges so I don't have to worry about heat, and then come in and start making these. Well, of course I have to because I picked the center of this blade, so we'll get that cut, keeping it cold, and that'll be the next step. Alright, don't mind the clamping job, but here we go. Let's move the drink out of the way. Alright, there's my shape roof cut out. I think I'm going to do 90% of this with the angle grinder, just because I can. So I think this battery was roughly all the way charged, and I'm down 1 little tick, so it's a 5 amp hour. So we'll just see how far it gets us, just because I'm curious. So, I think that battery's full charged. Might be one I just weeded the yard with. We'll see. Anyways, yeah, so switching wheels. think I'm going to put it in the vise here and work on the top a little bit better. Oh, sort of looks like a chef knife. It's a knife-shaped object anyways. Now my debate. We'll see. So I'm going to call it a night. And then tomorrow we will, or next video, whenever, next, I'll set up the belt sander, I think. And I'll start working on the bevel. Take a few passes. If it's going too slow, we'll come back to the angle grinder and see what it does. And 2 ticks for those of you curious. There it is. That's it so far. Alright, I don't normally do this, but I think we're going to play this out and try to do almost all this with the angle grinder. So in that case I am going to do it, and I'm going to mark the center line for the blade, or for the edge, so that way I can keep it good and straight. So there's some blue, and if you're not using blue you're doing it wrong. Dike them, and we'll let that dry a second, and we'll mark center. By second I probably mean couple hours because I'm in the middle of other stuff, but we'll let it dry. Need to get me a proper pair of dividers, but since I don't have them, that is 85 thou, so we'll go 40. I think that's as good as I'm going to get with angle grinder. I could finish filing this out if I didn't have a life, but I do. And so I think the next step is we're going to take it to the belt sander because I've got it, and if you were doing this, I think it's like $30 on sale at the old cheapy tool supply. So if you're using an angle grinder, pick you up one of those. Alright, I'm going to change the belts. Alright guys, that'll do it. Come on. That's where I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to clean that dicam off, which by the way comes off with alcohol or acetone, not soapy water. And that's going to be this one. Like I say, I'm going to use it for a while, try it out, and then I'll come back and handle it and finish it and all that good stuff. But this is going to be my kitchen knife I use tonight. Okay guys, so I forgot to add this. I was out here taking my thumbnail into the screenshot. So I did weed eat my entire yard, which is a fairly good sized yard with a lot of weed eating. And I don't know if you can see that. I think you can. One battery light. So we did this from when we picked it up. I think it said 4, but to be honest, it was probably right at 3. And made a whole knife, other than the final edge, obviously. That's tough to do with anything other than a belt sander or by hand, but rough shape, rough cut, 90% of the way there. Battery operated angle grinder, just because I could. Okay guys, so follow up from the knife build. I decided to do something really crazy, so I got this setting in ferrochloric acid, nasty stuff. Yeah, use your brain if you decide to use it. Anyways, do your own research. Blade is in there. I'm going to let it set. I did some test pieces. I don't think there's a lot of carbon in this, so I don't know how well this knife's going to hold up. But nonetheless, I'm going to let it set for about 10 minutes and check it. I think I'm going to go for 30 total based on my sample pieces, but we'll see. So 10 minutes I'll check, and then we'll do it until I like the color of it. And then I'm going to go really crazy on the handle. And everybody's probably going to scream because it's crazy, but I want to try it. So that's where we're at. Okay guys, you're gonna have to hang in there with me till I get my real camera stand, but let's check out what this looks like. Oh yeah, so I've been I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes. I shouldn't have wiped that on that rag. Oh well. So this should neutralize it. Should, theoretically. That's a nice, pretty satin color. Got a lot of texture to it. Man. So I don't like what happened on this side, and that's because I had to lay it flat, so it all got trapped underneath it. I'm sure of it. So what I think, so there's a few spots on this side that need some help too. So I think we're gonna flip it in other way, other side down, and give it 5 minutes. Maybe just 2. Alright, there's that. And nice and easy. If I keep doing this, I'm gonna need a lot more neutralizing on hand. Okay, so this is 3 more minutes, guys. Oh, come on, little magnet. Leave that over there till you're neutralized. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. I saw something I didn't like. Ah! Dropping stuff. Oh, dropping stuff in the background. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Nice, just very plain satin finish. Just a little bit of color, a little bit of sheen. Hopefully that makes it a little more rust resistant. I mean, I know it's not going to be stainless by any means, but it's not stainless. So I'm going to spray this, I think, with some fresh neutralizing agent. And I definitely should have brought more towels over here. It's got some texture and some character to it, but it looks like a mostly even finish. Let's release you from the vise without cutting myself, because that was close. Let's look at this out in the sunlight. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. That was a good idea. Now I probably just have to touch up the edge. You guys want to see what I do with the handle? Of course you do. Okay, you guys ready to cringe? I'm really gonna do this. Of course it peels right off if I don't like it, but that's right. Well, this stuff's called liquid tape, but essentially it's plasti dip. That's right. Okay, now that has to sit for a while. Oh, do I already regret doing that? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, guys, here we go. 4 coats later. 4. I was doing this, you couldn't see me. I'm gonna go look at the damage I've done. Move you back so you can see. Still a little tacky at the moment. Hopefully. No, I'm going to need to take a box knife and separate that. Well, let's see. Maybe my pocket knife will do it. No, let's go get a box knife. Okay, box knife. There we go. Okay, that should be the risky part. Now I just gotta figure out how I taped all this up. Oh, that stuck really well. Okay guys, so you got in for a little bonus action. I was going to wrap this up earlier, but there you go. One 5 amp hour battery made virtually this whole knife. I mean, obviously finishing processes are finishing processes, but that's everything. So whole knife, cut, shaped, keeping the blade cool with this angle grinder. Edge put on almost completely with the angle grinder, finished up on the belt sander. Ferric chloride etch for
15 minutes. No. It was 10 minutes plus 3, so 13 minutes. 2 separate steps because we did the flip because of the weird texture. And then 4 coats of, I don't know what that stuff was called. Liquid tape, I think is what that brand was called, but it's a Harbor Freight version of rubberized coating that I got. So there it is. I'll follow up in probably a short, like 2-minute video of how it holds up and all that after I've used it for a while. Catch you guys on the next one. Like, share, and subscribe.